G'day collectors, my name's Rob and welcome to the very first episode of Aussie Diecast Reviews. First up, I would like to thank everyone that has subscribed to the channel. I think I'm up to 20 or so now, so yeah, thank you for the support. So the purpose of this channel is to share my collection of 118 diecast model cars that I've been collecting for the past 15 years or so now. I have over 350 plus 118 model cars, mainly Australian cars, like Australian race cars, V8 supercars, touring cars, stuff like that. So yeah, the diecast bug bit me pretty hard, and I can tell you it's very expensive and very addictive hobby. So yeah, originally I wanted to start the channel off like this, but I didn't have a very good camera. It was an old iPhone 3S or something, I don't know, something like that. So I went out and I got a new camera, which is pretty good. So yeah, so what I'll do is every week or so I'll get a car out of the collection, I'll review it, I'll talk about it a bit, what the car did, the driver, the team, stuff like that. And then I'll do an honest review about the model, like the detail, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, the price, how rare it is, how much you can get it on eBay and other certain websites and so forth. So I'll tell you a little bit about the three main model companies in Australia. You've got Apex Replicas, which they're a pretty new company. So that's that model there. That's a Ford FG Falcon. Then you've got Classic Car Collectibles, which is that one there. That is a 1984 Bathurst winner. I'll get to that in another episode. And you've got Bianchi Model Cars, which is that one there. All three of these companies that produce these types of cars, they're all very good, excellent detail. If I was to pick one of the companies, it would probably have to be Bianchi Model Cars. They're probably the top model company in Australia. And then it's probably a close second between Classics and Apex. So yeah, let's get stuck into it for episode 1, and I'll kick it off and I'll be reviewing this car here. Alrighty, so for episode 1, I'll be reviewing this here. This will be the Classic Car Collectibles 1994 Holden VP Commodore. Now this is not a Bathurst winner. This is just part of the Bathurst 1000 collection the Classic Car Collectibles do. So I'll get it out of the box. There you go. Alrighty, so Classic Car Collectibles Holden VP Commodore, Bathurst 1000, 118 scale, limited edition of 1350. You get a certificate of authenticity, and like I said, is a part of the Bathurst collection. So for people out there that might not know what the Bathurst 1000 is, it is a very important event for motorsport fans in Australia. It's been going since the 1960s or 50s, I think. Yeah, it's just a massive event. If I could compare it to another event overseas, it would probably have to be like a Daytona 500 or a what's it called? Monaco Formula 1 Grand Prix. Yeah, so it is a very big event here in Australia. So the drivers, you got Peter Brock and Thompson Zero. Peter Brock, I'll give you a little bit of information about him if you don't know. He was one of the top drivers here in Australia. You could probably compare him to, say, Dale Earnhardt Jr. or Ayrton Senna. Yeah, he was one of the fan favourites here in Australia, and yeah. So yeah, what I'll do now is I'll unbox it. So with classic car collectibles, you always get a nice foam box. You get a cardboard strap. Always very important to keep these if you want to resell it one day, because you're pretty much stuffed without it. It also keeps the foam box secure. So you also get your certificate of authenticity. Classic car collectibles, they used to put the numbers down the bottom here, but lately they've been putting them underneath the car. So I'll see what number I've got. So you get that. You get like a classic car collectibles gold membership application. That's if you want to be part of their membership. You get like a that 143 scale classic collectibles car. You get like special discounts and all that. So yeah. You also get a free newsletter you can send away. It keeps you up to date with all the new releases that they release, so you get that. And this is just basically a little pamphlet that you get. It gives you a little bit of information about the car and the driver. That's Peter Brock there. It gives you like how they create the model, how they tool it and all that. So yeah, just a bit of basic information. But I'll get a bit onto that later. So you get that. Yeah. What I'll do now is, before I review the model, I'll tell you a little bit about the car itself. So be back in a minute. In 1994, Peter Brock had returned to the Holden Racing team after a number of years driving for Advantage Racing, and it would be his first Bathurst 1000 race for HRT since 1986. Brock teamed up with Czechoslovakian driver Thomas Mazera, and with Brock's experience and Mazera's speed, the pair were top favourites for the race. Early in the week, the HRT Commodore came under fire by other teams about illegal modifications to the front of the car. The stewards upheld the complaints and the practice times were excluded until the car was fixed. With the HRT Commodore fixed, Brock qualified 6th fastest on a 2-minute 12.9, but in the all-important top 10 shootout, he improved to qualify second on the grid alongside Glenn Seaton. The start of the 1994 Bathurst 1000 was drenched in rain. Brock made a good start, but coming into Hell's Corner, he ran wide and Seaton went through to take the lead. There was a lot of passing between Brock, Seaton and Scaife and Perkins for the first half of the race. A great battle between old HDT teammate Larry Perkins was the most memorable moment, with both drivers slipping and sliding in the wet. Brock and Mazera were running in the top 5 most of the day and were looking good for the race. Mazera came in with 30 laps to go and handed it over to Brock, but the HRT opted not to change brake pads, and this would be disastrous for HRT. And on lap 138 coming into Solomon Park, Brock ran wide and slammed into the wall and ending his 1994 Bathurst 1000 and potentially his 10th Bathurst win. And now let's have a look at the model. Alrighty, so I hope you enjoyed that. That took me bloody ages to make, so yeah. So now onto the model. So we'll open her up. Alrighty, so pretty much with every model car you get a bit of toilet paper, I call it. That's just to protect the top of the car and the front of the car. Always be careful if you open up these things with it, because sometimes, see the little aerials, they can sometimes get hooked, and also the windscreen wipers, so be very careful of these things. Alrighty, so I'm getting me out of the car. Oh, and also, always get one of these. It's like a little tool you get. You can open up the doors, the bonnet, and me personally, I just use my fingernail. You get a little bit more control of opening things, so yeah, you get one of them. You can point at it. I wouldn't do that, but yeah, you can point. I might use it for the review. So yeah, we'll start with the front of the car. That's the front. I might put this down. Alrighty. So the Holden VP Commodore. It was, I wouldn't say it was the nicest V8 supercar out there. This would probably be the start of the modern era of V8 supercars. Yeah, the previous cars that they ran was called Group A, or was it Group A? Yeah, Group A. They didn't have much aero. These were starting to come up to the more modern V8 supercars you see today. So yeah, we'll start with the front. Detail is very good detail on the front. I'll show you a little bit more things here. This is the front of the grille. Pretty sure they only ran that in qualifying, the grille. For the race, they took it out, if you see in some of the footage. So yeah, this must have been based off a qualifying car. So yeah, you've got that thing there, that's for the jacks, which now they run on the side. So when they go for a pit stop, they put a hose in and it'll come up, and then they change the tyre. So that used to always be on the front, and it's now on the side of the cars now. So what I'll do is I'll open up the bonnet. Alrighty, so there you go. So this is the Holden Racing Team spec engine. You've got the engine covers. You've got the rockets there. So detail wise, it's not bad. Could have been done a little bit better, in my opinion. This is a Chev engine, 5 litre Chev engine, 5 litre V8 engine. They produced, probably back then it was 500 and something horsepower. So yeah, they were very powerful cars. One thing I don't like about the bonnet is it's not very stable. Like, it's got a bit of give to it, so I'd be very careful. I wouldn't open this up in a hurry, because yeah, I close that. So yeah, that's the front of the car, and we'll move around to the rear. Alrighty, so to the rear of the car, couple of little features on here. You've got the oil filters down here. You've got the tow cable, very well detailed. What else can I tell you? Very distinctive wing on the VP Commodore. I'm pretty sure over here we used to call it the barbecue wing or something like that, because I don't know if you've ever seen a barbecue cover. It's very similar to a barbecue cover. So yeah, so that's the rear. Now we'll have a look at the boot. Alrighty, so we're inside the rear of the car with the boot. You've got the fuel system. Look at that, very detailed. So the fuel sump's underneath the car. I'll show you a bit later. So you've got all the wires and all that. So yeah, and we'll move on to the side of the car. And to the side, there's a couple of things that I don't think are very well detailed. I don't know about the paint on this car. I think it needs to be a bit more black. I don't know, it's on the see on television, it was very much, I don't know what it looks like here, but it's more of a darker blue. I always thought the HRT Commodores were all black. As I mean black, as I mean this, the Lion. So yeah. You got the fuel filters there. That's where the fuel goes in. Yeah, so I might have a bit of a look inside the car now. Alright, so you got the dash. That red hose there, that's actually for the air filter, so for fresh air to come in, because they get pretty hot in these cars. And you got the 6-speed gearbox, some of the elements in there, like ignition and all that. Yeah. And you've got like a very basic roll cage. You've got the racing seat, you got clutch, brake, accelerator. That there's protect your feet, because yeah, these cars get very hot underneath the cars. I mean, the engine is just pretty much near the driver's feet, so yeah, it's very hot. Safety wise, yeah, it's compared to today's race cars and V8 supercars, there wasn't much. It was just a basic roll cage. So yeah, I'll have a little bit more look at that. Bloody loving this camera. Could never do this before with the other camera, that's for sure. So yeah, look at that. One thing that's missing here, I'm pretty sure, is this race cam. I don't know if it was mounted on the floor or... That's not it. Yeah, they used to have, I think it's missing race cam, I'm pretty sure. All the cars back then, well they do now anyway, they have a camera inside the car, they can see what the driver's doing and all that, they can talk to the driver. So yeah, so some of the features there, you got the rev light, that's when they tell them to change gears. So yeah, very detailed, very detailed. What else you got? You got anti-roll bars there, that lever there. That distributes the weight of the car to the front. Brake bias, I think it is on that side somewhere. Over here. So yeah, you got all the cables, electronics. Yeah. So not bad detail. Alrighty, let's have a look underneath the car. So looking underneath, you've got the engine underneath there. Got the 6-speed gearbox, propeller shaft, twin exhaust, got the diff, got the 18-inch Bridgestone wheels, and there's a number there. So I have 489 out of 1350. So yeah, pretty low numbers, I guess, if you're a HRT or Holden collector. So yeah. Alrighty. And that's the fuel cell there. That's where the fuel goes in. Classic Car Collectibles logo. So yeah, very detailed. Alright guys, so to finish up, I'll give my honest review about this car. I don't have another car to compare it to. Classic Car Collectibles are the only model car company up to the moment that make this car, so I don't really have another car to compare it to. By the looks of it, the detail is very good coming from Classic Car Collectibles. All the 4 doors open up, the boot opens, the bonnet, the actual suspension as well. I didn't show suspension actually works, so that's pretty neat. The bads, I'd probably have to say, probably the paintwork, as I mean, the black, it's more of a blue. I always thought it was a black. And also I'm pretty sure the red, I don't know if it's supposed to match up the Telstra logo. yeah, I thought it was always an orangey colour. Yeah, other than that, it's a pretty good model. It's not bad. I'd probably give it a 5 out of 10. No, I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It's not bad. Like I said, I don't have another car to compare it to, so I'm sure Bianchi might release one day. Now, what I paid for it, I brought this from my local hobby dealer. I got it for $200. So yeah, it's a very expensive car. I think on eBay you probably can get it for close to $250. But in saying that, if Bianchi don't release a similar car, the price should go up. These cars, especially Brock cars, since tragically he passed away, I know it's not a very good thing to say, but Brock cars do go up in price. Very, very, very sought after models. So if you're after an investment, then for sure get it. So yeah. So with eBay, I'd probably try and go towards more of your hobbyist. Because with eBay, you don't know what you're gonna get. It could like I buy stuff off eBay, but you don't know what you could come in broken. It's plus you got to pay for postage. I'd rather just go to my local hobbyist place where they sell hobby, die-cast stuff. Get a bit of relationship going. Go there every week, talk to them, and they end up giving you discounts. So if you're a loyal customer, they'll look after you, and if you look after them, they'll look after you. So yeah, so that's it, guys. I think that was pretty much it for episode 1. This episode's probably bound to get better, as in review-wise. I've never done this before, so I thought it was a good idea to do. I've got 350 of the bloody things, so I might as well review them. So yeah. So that's it for episode 1. I might be back this week or next week, depending, see how I go with work. But if you enjoyed it, leave a subscribe or leave a comment. I'd love to hear about your collection. There's one person I'd like to say thank you to is Heath Tompkins. He always comments on my videos, so go check him out. Thanks, Heath. And he does similar sort of videos. He builds his own models and stuff. So yeah, that's it, guys. I'll be back in a couple more days, and I'll catch you around for another Aussie die-cast review. So catch you later.